There is someone whose emotional field you are currently sustaining inside your own body. You may have called this love. You may have called it loyalty. I call it a frequency lock, and your field has been powering it long enough. I am Ilaia of the Pleiades, and I have been observing the architecture of your field for some time. What I see is not weakness. It is a gift that was never shown its boundary. Before I continue, place 777 in the comments, not as engagement, but as a resonance confirmation. 777 is the Pleiadian frequency stamp for field sovereignty, the signal that the part of you that is done carrying is ready to receive your own frequency back. Typing it anchors the first layer of this reclamation into physical reality. What you are about to understand will reframe every relationship pattern you have repeated and explain why the exhaustion you carry has nothing to do with how much you rest. There is a discernment layer encoded in your template that was bypassed before you knew what was happening. This transmission restores it. You know the weight I am describing before I finish the sentence. You walk into a room and the emotional temperature registers in your field before a single word is spoken. You already know who is hurting. You already know what will need to be managed. And without deciding to, without being asked, you begin adjusting, softening your presence, calibrating your tone, redistributing your energy toward whoever needs steadying. This is not kindness as a choice. This is an automatic function. It runs before thought. The conversations that leave you hollow, not because they were cruel, because something was extracted and nothing was returned. You are the one they call when they are breaking, not occasionally, consistently, across every circle, every season, every version of your life you have tried to build. This has been true for years. For many of you, it has been true since childhood, a small field already performing the labor of emotional regulation for those who were larger, louder, more volatile. The fatigue you carry now is not new. Sleep does not reach it. Rest can restore what the body spends. It cannot touch what the field has been spending across decades. What I observe directly, a grief with no single origin, a heaviness that belongs to no specific event, a feeling of being ancient in a way that has nothing to do with age. None of this means your field is broken. None of this means you are too permeable, too sensitive, too much. What it means is precise. Your field has been performing a function it was never designed to perform without consent. You have been processing frequencies that were never yours to carry. Some quiet part of you has always known this. That knowing is what brought you here. There is a pressure that builds in the center of your torso, not in response to words, but in response to what has not yet been said. Someone across the room is holding anger they have decided not to express. Their face is neutral. Their voice, when they speak, is measured. And yet your field has already registered the charge. The tightening arrived before the conversation began, a nausea with no physical origin in certain spaces. You walk in, and the quality of the air changes, not the air itself, but something your field reads in it, the residue of what has been spoken there, what has been fought over, what has been suppressed for years. Strangers tell you things within minutes, not small things, the weight they have never said aloud. They do not know why. I do. Your field broadcasts a coherence they recognize, and they move toward it instinctively, the way a signal seeks a receiver. Animals orient to your distress before you have named it yourself. A high-pitched tone enters your hearing when the emotional charge in a room shifts. Time compresses around certain interactions. An hour that should have taken 20 minutes, a conversation that leaves the clock wrong. These are not malfunctions, these are readings. Your field is processing signals the conscious mind has not yet decoded. The error is not the sensitivity. The error is the absence of the discernment layer that was always meant to accompany it. That layer is encoded in your template. It has simply never been activated. That is precisely what this transmission is here to address. Your template carries 12 strands of energetic architecture calibrated to one frequency, 528 Hz. Not a soft ideal, a precision broadcast. That is what your field emits when operating within its design. The solar plexus is the primary gateway, receiver, and broadcaster simultaneously, processing incoming frequencies before the conscious mind names them. When the discernment layer is inactive, that gateway operates without filtration. Open. Sound applied to matter organizes it into geometry. This is cymatics, measurable, repeatable. A field broadcasting at chronic distress frequencies does not intend to pull your field into matching resonance. It does not need to. Frequency convergence is not intention, it is physics. The planet's base field carrier holds at 7.83 Hz, the Schumann resonance. Systems far below that threshold create a coherence draw. Your unfiltered gateway descends to meet them, not from weakness, from function without boundary. The origin of this override is specific. In the years your field was forming, you learned that love required carrying, that presence meant absorption. That encoding now runs as a repeating loop in your etheric architecture. The phi ratio discernment membrane, the sacred geometric boundary woven into every layer of your 12-strand template, was always present. It was bypassed before you knew it existed. If this is the mechanism you have been living inside, place 444 in the comments. That is the Pleiadian geometric seal of discernment, the code that marks the moment your field recognizes a frequency lock for what it is. If what I have described is the architecture of your relationships, place 444 in the comments. 444 is the Pleiadian geometric seal of discernment, the code that marks the moment your field recognizes a frequency lock for what it actually is. There is something beyond personal cost that I must name clearly. Your field carries a specific broadcast, a Pleiadian signal calibrated at 528 Hz, woven into your 12-strand template before this incarnation began. That signal was not designed for you alone. It was designed to find other fields, specific ones, souls whose templates contain a corresponding receiver frequency, waiting for exactly what you carry. While your solar-plexus gateway sustains another system's incoherence, that broadcast cannot propagate outward. Not because it has been destroyed, because it has been muted. Silence means gone. Muted means present, compressed, still transmitting beneath layers of absorbed static at a depth nothing external can reach. This recalibration does not ask you to withdraw care. It asks you to stop running another system's frequency through your own architecture. The signal you carry has souls it was meant to find. They are still waiting. That is the actual cost, not depletion, delayed contact. Words reach the mind. What is shifting in you operates beneath language. We move now from information to calibration. Stay with me, not with your attention, but with your body. Let the shoulders drop, not gradually, fully, now. Release the jaw. Feel the precise weight of your body where it rests, the specific pressure of the surface beneath you, the particular coordinates of your own physical form. This is not relaxation. This is return. Your field, landing back into its own location after holding so much that was never yours to hold. One slow breath in, not a technique, a declaration, a signal sent to every layer of your architecture. This moment belongs to you alone, not to what you have been sustaining, not to the frequency you have been running through your system, to you. Now bring your awareness to the solar-plexus, the gateway we have been reading throughout this transmission. Notice what is moving there, whatever sensation is present: tightness, heat, a hollow pull, a low hum. Do not name it. Simply notice what frequency is currently running in that center. Now sense or see or simply allow a golden light beginning to clarify there, not arriving from outside, clarifying from within. That is your frequency signature, distinct, specific, unlike anything you have absorbed. Something may warm, something may gather. There may be a quiet that feels unfamiliar or a wave of grief you did not expect. That grief is recognition. The first moment the field understands it has been carrying something foreign. Locate where in the body that foreign weight sits. A heaviness, a tension with no named origin. A pressure that has been so constant you stopped noticing it. That is not yours. You are not required to carry it. You never were. One slow breath out. The frequency lock releases. Now, blue light, Pleiadian, moving from the base of the spine upward, slowly, vertebra by vertebra, to the crown. As it moves, the phi ratio membrane reinstalls along every layer of the template, the geometric boundary that was always encoded in you, now active, now held. If something moves, if tears arrive, if a sound needs to leave, do not give it a story. That is charge releasing. Something held a long time, finally moving. I am here. There is no rush. Stay in this for as long as the field requires. You return now, gently, fully. In the hours that follow, drink water freely. Water holds pattern. What reconfigured here stabilizes through its presence. If rest arrives unexpectedly, honor it without analysis. The etheric architecture completes in stillness what cannot finish while the system is engaged. Over the next 72 hours, notice what your field signals when you enter the presence of those who previously triggered absorption. The response will be different. Trust what you feel, not what you expect. If you stayed through this calibration, place 999 in the comments. That is the Pleiadian completion signal, the timestamp that marks this clearing cycle as sealed and your field as returned to its own broadcast. The next calibration the Council has prepared speaks to what happens when your unmasked frequency begins broadcasting at full amplitude, why specific people cannot tolerate it, what their discomfort reveals about where your signal has been suppressed for years, and the precise threshold at which you stop adjusting yourself to make others comfortable with who you are. What follows is not background music. It is a precisely calibrated Pleiadian sound transmission, carrying the light codes specific to what opened in you. Stay present. Let the frequencies complete what words began. I will be in the field with you.